Hello, my name is Melissa. Welcome back to my channel. We are on day number 10 of our Breyer Advent Calendar unboxing, and we have found so many fun miniatures. We've also been learning about the coming of Jesus and why it's so important, and learning a little bit more about my friend Zoe and her stable and the horses that she cares for and all of her friends. So let's pop in and let's check on Zoe this morning. Oh, it looks like she is getting ready for church. She is headed out, so we will let her do that. We won't keep her too long. Let you and I get to our Bible reading, all right? We're actually going to do it a little bit different today. We've been talking about creation, and we've been talking about everything that God made for you and for me. And yesterday we talked about the two choices, big choices that he gave to Adam and Eve when they were in the garden. And that gift of choice is so important because it means that when you and I do choose to love God, it's because we want to. And it's not because he just made us to automatically do that, because that wouldn't be much of a relationship. So he gave Adam and Eve all the garden that they can eat. And then he gave them two special trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which he said would bring death, would bring just a lot of pain and suffering if they ate from that tree. And Adam and Eve, the Bible doesn't tell us how long they lived in that garden before they went to one of these two trees. But my guess is that they might have lived there for just a little bit and enjoyed everything that God had created for them. Then one day they were very tempted and they both ended up choosing this tree over here. The tree that God said, this is my one rule, don't eat this tree because it's not going to lead to good. Now, the Bible tells us they didn't eat from this tree yet because later it says they had to leave the garden because they ate from this tree. Because they ate from this tree, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, there were a lot of consequences they had. And one of the biggest consequences was they had to leave the garden and they started to know right from wrong. And when you start to know right from wrong, then you become responsible to make good choices. And that was a lot of a burden for Adam and Eve coming out of the Garden of Eden. But what's really cool is God loved them so much that even though they broke that rule, and even though they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and their whole life was about to change, God wanted to rescue them. And God wanted to save them so that they could continue to have a relationship with him. He wants the same thing for you and me. He wants to continue to have a relationship with you and me. And tomorrow we are going to read a really cool chapter in the book of Zephaniah. That's a book in the Bible that's a little bit farther past Genesis, all about God and how he loves you so much that every single day, you and I have choices. We can choose life, or we can choose maybe some other choices that aren't so good that lead to consequences and things that we don't want to happen. Unlike Adam and Eve, when they left the garden, they couldn't eat from the tree of life anymore. But you and I, at any point, if we make bad choices, we can go back and make good choices and we can ask God to forgive us. But I'm getting into the rescue story and I don't want to get there quite yet. So let's close that for the moment. I'll just tell you there's really good news tomorrow. And then let's open our next Breyer Advent box. Okay, we are on day 10. Goodness, this is so tiny. I'm gonna have to do another video for this one too. It looks like a really itty bitty saddle and an itty bitty saddle stand, which is super helpful. You have to have those if you have horses. Makes it easier to keep your saddle neat and clean. All right, let's take one more peek at Zoe before we head out for the day. Well, Zoe has still gone to church. It hasn't been that long since she left. And her horses, they seem to be doing fine in the stable. So I guess we'll just let them be. And maybe I'll take a moment and just remind you about our drawing. We have a giveaway of the Breyer Hope of the Year horse. All you have to do is comment with the word subscribe at the bottom of this video or any video marked Advent. Some of them, the comments are turned off, but this one you can definitely comment on. And everyone who subscribes to my channel and puts the word subscribe in will be entered in the drawing. So I'm excited to give that away on Christmas Day. All right, guys, you have a beautiful Sunday, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.